You know, people are always accusing Trump supporters of being violent or racist, but we're here at this Trump rally, and I just don't see it.
See all sorts of cool stuff at Trump rallies. Like there's a license plate that says God, family, country, and then on the side of it, it's got the Confederate flag. So I'm not sure which country they're talking about. It's interesting.
Interesting, nonsensical, infuriating, offensive, treasonous. The list to describe how seeing people fly the Confederate flag feels can go on and on. But for far too many of today's right-wingers, whether they admit it or not, the flag, everything it represents, harken back to a time they want to return to.
Just keep it flying.
Keep it flying? And why do you want to keep it flying?
Why would anybody want to erase our heritage?
Some people would say that flag symbolizes racism, it symbolizes slavery, and they might have some valid points there.
That's their opinion. You know, they're welcome to their opinion if they want it.
Are you pro-slavery or against slavery?
I have no comment.
I'll give you one more chance. Pro or anti-slavery?
No comment.
I'll give you one more opportunity to say if you're pro or anti-slavery.
No comment.
All right, well, there you have it.
Confederate flag is a Southern heritage, and everything that's being divided and taken away from us, our Southern heritage, no, I stand against that. But it has nothing to do with racism.
It represents slavery and then anti-slavery. Do you understand why people might think that?
What about people that don't understand the swastika?
Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, the swastika is a sign of peace. Hitler took it in 1935 when he became chancellor. He took it and turned it into evil.
But do you want people wearing a swastika around?
I don't care if they wear a swastika around. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you?
No, because it doesn't mean what everybody thinks it means.
Let's stop pretending the Confederate flag is about Southern heritage. The Confederacy lasted 5 years. The culture it created, a white supremacist war against the United States. It lost. But here we are in 2025 with grown adults wrapping themselves in it, proudly yelling God, family, country, while flying the flag of a rebellion that literally tried to destroy America. If you think the Republican Party has moved on, take a look at their platform. From gutting DEI initiatives to demonizing immigrants to pushing Christian nationalism into public schools, this is not some grassroots movement. It's policy-level nostalgia for oppression.
I don't think you remove or erase history. So I do agree those statues shouldn't be taken down. They're part of our history. We should learn from our history. We don't erase it. But that doesn't make me a racist because I say leave the statue up there. If I were black people today and I walked by one of those statues, I would be so proud because I'd say, look how far I have come in this country. Look how far my people what they have overcome. And these are good things.
Here is this guy that comes out with his manifesto holding the Confederate flag and had just hijacked everything that people thought of. And we don't have hateful people in South Carolina. There's always the small minority that's always going to be there. But, you know, people saw it as service and sacrifice and heritage. But once he did that, there was no way to overcome it. And the national media came in droves. They wanted to define what happened. They wanted to make this about racism. They wanted to make it about gun control. They wanted to make it about death penalty.
My attitude is freedom of speech. Very strong views on the Confederate flag. With me, it's freedom of speech. Very simple. Like it, don't like it, it's freedom of speech.
Would you be comfortable with your supporters displaying the Confederate battle flag at political events?
You know, it depends on what your definition is, but I am comfortable with freedom of speech. It's very simple.
But you understand why the flag is a painful symbol for many people because it's a reminder of slavery.
Well, people love it, and I know people that like the Confederate flag, and they're not thinking about slavery.
That's why it's no surprise you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene cozying up to Confederates, or Nikki Haley refusing to say slavery was the cause of the Civil War, or Donald Trump posing with a Confederate flag. This isn't about history. It's about rewriting it, normalizing hate, whitewashing violence, and the danger isn't just the loudest extremists with bumper stickers. It's elected officials quietly letting it all slide because they know exactly what base they are protecting.
What are we doing here? Is the idea just that if you are a woman, if you are a person of color in American history, you don't get remembered or recorded on a ship, but if you are a Confederate traitor to this country. You do. I mean, Donald Trump, back in 2017, said it was sad to see the history and culture of our great country being ripped apart with the removal of our beautiful statues and monuments. You can't change history, but you can learn from it. Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson. I mean, that's worth defending, but not Harriet Tubman, Thurgood Marshall, Medgar Evers.
Now, the same people who scream about erasing history want to literally rename ships honoring civil rights icons like Harvey Milk, Cesar Chavez, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Medgar Evers. According to CBS News, the Trump administration, via Pete Hegseth, is planning to rename the USNS Harvey Milk and other vessels in the John Lewis class. This isn't about tradition, it's about retaliation. Erase the Black icons, erase the LGBTQ plus heroes, replace them with whatever fits their warrior ethos, because celebrating equality and justice doesn't align with the vision of the Republican Party anymore.
So all of a sudden, when the people are Black, brown, or women, it's a problem, but it's not a problem. When it was, Andrew Jackson or whatever it is, what signal are they sending by making this move now and doing it with this particular ship that's named after someone who was killed just because he was gay?
And of course, they're blaming DEI. Hegseth pushed a memo saying events like Pride Month, Black History Month, Women's History Month can't use Department of Defense resources anymore. And they're calling this leadership. Be honest, their message is clear. If it's not white, male, or MAGA approved, it's disposable. But let's not forget who these ships were named for. Leaders who sacrificed everything to push America closer to its promise. You want to honor the troops? Start by honoring the values they fight for. And that includes naming our ships not after hate or hierarchy, but after those who stood for justice, equality, freedom for all.